Hello people, I'm Vito, and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! The Falsebound Kingdom with Robberlink.
Hello there.
Alright, so where we last left off, we were fighting Sebeckal and, what was his name, Necubetos or something like that?
And 50 water danger noodles.
Yes.
Here's one right now.
Yeah, so I farmed somewhat off-screen, not as much as I usually would have, but I was actually running out of time, so I only did some farming. But I also, before farming, rearranged some monsters. So on Rex Raptor, I replaced Megazowler with Moisture Creature. So we can see him right there. He looks to be...
Looks a little out of place next to the others.
Yeah, he's a kind of thin, tiny alien dude, I guess. He was very, very hard to use originally, because at level 1 he had 1 star, so I had to give him a deal of Phantom. And he finally got a 2nd star somewhere in the 30 level range, like 31 or 32 I think.
Jeez.
But the interesting thing is, he starts with Magic level 5.
Oh, also what is Deal of Phantom?
It's the one that gives them an extra star. Speaking of which, someone apparently was watching our Yugi story playthrough and let us know in the comments about how Deal of Phantom gives an extra star and how Confusion makes an enemy only attack, which, yeah, I appreciate because there was a chance we wouldn't have known even at this point, but luckily we did figure out. I think that person was Lorenzo? So, thank you.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
Also, yeah, it says this attack is already unable to miss, which is interesting, just by default. So yeah, I gave him a few magic items. I would have given him 3, but then I decided to give him the Deal of Phantom just to make things a little easier.
Fair enough.
I think later on I will actually put Moisture Creature onto Weevil, because I think Weevil is going to be our group that specializes in having a lot of stars, kind of like how Mai was in Yugi's story.
That makes sense.
So, let's see what this is. Sterilize Beam. Rainbow Sterilization Beam.
Oh.
You are now clean.
You are being cleaned. Please do not resist.
Okay, that one's just waiting. Interesting. Alright, and then on Labyrinth Ruler, I replaced Dark Chimera with Garuzis. And I replaced Shadow Ghoul with Blackluster Soldier from Yugi's playthrough because Mega Master said that's also a very good late game monster.
Okay.
And then on Bones, I replaced the Armored Lizard with the Giant Soldier of Stone because that's also another supposedly good late game monster. Alright. Sterilize Beam again. Congratulations, you can now no longer have children.
No!
Because you're dead. Yeah, and also Tiger Axe has finally gotten a decent number of moves. Because before he only had like, what, 1 or 2? It was not good.
I think it was like 2.
Yeah, it was not good to start out with. But, here, what are their levels now? Yeah, 37, 52, and 38. If I had farmed as much as I had planned to, I would have gotten them all to at least 45. But, after this session, if I still have enough time, I'll probably do that. If we leave off in a good place. Sterilize Beam number 3. This one's for free.
It kind of reminds me of, the GameCube discs. Specifically when you look at the side that doesn't have the
art on it.
Yeah.
The actual data side.
Yeah, it's all shiny and reflective.
Yep.
So it's kind of got all those colors.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised there aren't as many things in general that just have that kind of look to it, just for the aesthetic. Because I know there are... I think they're expensive, but there's specific paints for cars. I want to say they're called iridescent and pearlescent, where if you look at different angles, they appear to be different colors.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Pretty cool.
That was the last group there. So, real quick before we actually move on to kill the enemy leader, Necubetos, there is a monster to find that it said is north of the west coast of Thormount. And also I do want to, buy something here real quick. I believe it is, yeah, some more enchanted javelins. And that should be good. I don't know if we have this or not. I'll get one just in case I don't. Alright, move north. Hopefully you'll find it. If not, he can help. And then everyone else can probably start moving towards the enemy.
Okay. I was concerned for a moment that you were gonna buy something. It's like, what?
Nope. Don't need to do that.
Vito, no, you're going to waste money. The most horrible thing that could possibly ever happen.
Here we go. We are being attacked by roaming monsters. Oh,
the other most horrible thing that could possibly happen.
Roaming monsters, oh no.
Oh, hey, Plessy.
Yeah, demonic Plessy from another dimension? Did Plessy have a shell? Holy crap, we just...
Yes.
Like, we just played that game and I can't remember.
I believe it did.
You know...
It was a bit smaller.
Now that I think about it, I wonder if Plessy was... If Plessy was inspired by that creature that's in the hazy maze cave of Super Mario 64. The one that looks like Lapras, if you remember.
Not off the top of my head, but Lapras was also something that came to mind.
Sea King Dragon. I don't remember if we fought this before or not. It might have been in a boss fight. Otherwise, I don't know. But yeah, it came with like super regeneration or super stamina, that's it. Whoops. Yeah, the regen. This one has Swift already. And they're around level 70. And this one also has Swift. Yeah, because we've been seeing tons of these. And a few of these.
Yep.
Alright, so... Technically, Mystic Horseman is over their level. That's what he gets for being through 2 playthroughs, basically. 1.5, maybe.
He's a veteran by now.
Quite so.
I do apologize if my commentary is not up to its usual, admittedly low standard. I woke up a bit earlier than normal, and we are recording a little bit later than normal. So, my energy's a bit low.
I would say have some caffeine like I did, but you don't really drink caffeinated beverages.
Not really.
I don't know if I've told this one for a video or not, but there was one time we went to a restaurant. I ordered Sprite, you ordered water. They got it mixed up because they are both clear. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this tastes very bland. And you said it tasted very spicy watery. Like spicy water, yeah.
Spicy water. I don't like fizziness, is all I will say.
I like it. I just can't chug it too much. Otherwise, yeah, then it'll actually hurt. Oh, that reminds me. I don't remember which VTuber it was, but there was a clip I saw. It was out of context. She said, I like the way it feels in my throat. And she was talking about a particularly fizzy, what is it called? Ginger ale. Where it like really has that spicy feel to it. As you've said. Alright, I killed one. points go up.
Jeez. You almost done, Kaiba? Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, in the fight against Gaia the Fierce Knight as a roaming monster, I know it went up by a ton because they were like level 99s.
Right.
But in this case, they're high level, but not higher than one of my monsters. So does it depend on which one gets the final blow?
I don't know.
Oh, Battery Blast. That seems to be hitting everyone.
Oh, not for that much damage, though.
Huh. I forgot to check the Battle Arts page.
To be fair, they usually don't have anything.
Yeah. Alright, still good. So yeah, in addition to moving Moisture Creature to Weevil's group, I could also move the Giant Soldier of Stone and the Millennium Golem, since they both kind of are low on moves. But I don't know, they might actually be fine as they are. They still have enough moves now, I guess. Maybe because they're higher level.
They are serviceable.
But that is something I realized, is that if I really wanted to use the Summoned Skull and the Beast of Gilfer, I probably should have put them on Mai's group, or I could put them on Weevil's group now, because their big weakness is they have so few moves that they run out very quickly.
Oh no, they're getting some points. Anyway.
Time to wipe them out. Bye-bye.
Number go up.
Even more. Level 81.
Nice.
Very, very nice. Sea King Dragon has joined your army. A giant red sea snake has joined your army. And Spike Seadra has joined your army.
Oh.
Alright, now let's get moving to the enemy base.
And the colors have been unreverted. Or uninverted. Which would just be reverted.
Or inverted a second time.
Oh. I'd never considered that.
The possibilities, they are endless. Are you going to run into that base? Yes, you are. I'm headed towards the enemy. Oh, hey. This is a nice rest stop. Get moving.
Bones, get moving.
You frickin' coward. What do you have? Oh, he has Axe Raider, Judge Man, and Armored Lizard. Yes.
Yay, I got one right.
From now on, should I start quizzing you whenever we see something we don't have?
Oh, please, no. Even if it's something we do have, I still might not get it.
Yeah, when it comes to the early Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, I'm starting to get to know them as well as, you know, the early Pokemon. I mean, I did know quite a few of them, but even some of the ones that apparently were never even released in the US.
Come get me. I won't go quietly.
So is that helmet supposed to look like a bird? Because I see like...
I guess?
I see what look like eyes on the top. It
The
looks,
eyes are a bit derpy.
yeah, it looks funny. Hello.
You got the evil, intimidating, like, beak aspect, and then just derp eyes.
Derp derp. Oh. Well, that sucked.
Man down.
I was hoping that wouldn't happen. Although I think this is also one of the groups that I did not have a chance to fully farm up. Well, no, they're all over level 45, so I guess that was just really frickin' unlucky. Do you have... No, you do not have Monster Reborn. Can you retreat? No, it missed.
Look, real quick, can you just, jump off that ledge behind you and leave?
Hammer of justice. No escape. But please, sir, I would like to escape. Oh, well, just guard. You're probably going to fail too. It seems weird. It seems like after enough combat has happened, it will not let you escape, no matter how many stars are, used up.
Really?
It seems like it. So I'm guessing it's just not going to let me escape now that I've lost someone. But I can just keep guarding and maybe heal you and not lose the marshal entirely.
I like how they, one-shot the guy. But they're just wailing on this bug and nothing's happening.
I wonder if he was still weak from defeating the 4 marshals before we started this episode. He may not have been at full health.
Whoopsie.
My bad. Alright, well, while we're waiting for this, I guess we could start getting into what we watched in the anime.
Very well.
So, in episode 11 of Season 2, all the way through 12 and 13, we saw Yugi fight Arcana. I thought it was Arcana, but Arcana. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it might be one of those things where you could say it either way.
Alright, you do not go back in. Yeah, I did realize when I was farming this, the time does go down very quickly.
Huh.
I want to say they might be close to respawning, so I don't want these guys to take forever, but you go in, you're closer, and you should be full health. So yeah, at the beginning of episode 11, there was just Kaiba casually destroying a competitor with Obelisk the Tormentor because he felt like it. Maybe the name is apt. Obelisk the Tormentor. Kaiba, the one who torments his own competitors using Obelisk.
Meanwhile, I activate PvP mode in an MMO and I go to the starting area. I am level 100. Or something. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. It's pretty much what it's like.
Well, I will say, it did seem like he, just summoned Obelisk the Tormentor. Just like that.
Yeah, they probably they probably skipped ahead, but they're like, you get it, let's just go to the good part. Obelisk the Tormentor. Wait, no, that's Exodia.
Annihilate?
Something like that. Torment. But yeah, that was in response to the one guy being like a bully and trying to get like more than one card.
Yeah.
As a reward, and Mokuba showed up. And you made a point that, at least when Kaiba's not around, he should probably have like a bodyguard with him or something.
Yeah, no, he is taking his job seriously, and I appreciate that. But also, he is dealing with, a bunch of very competitive, potentially hot-headed, guys in this tournament.
Who are much bigger than him.
Yeah. Might want to have some muscle to back you up.
Wouldn't hurt.
I don't know, maybe he's distrustful of bodyguard types after,
Oh yeah. After being locked up by them, from Pegasus.
What was it called?
And also Kaiba Corp execs.
Yeah. Frick, what was it called? The, Duelist Kingdom.
Oh yeah. During that whole arc. And then there was that flashback where we learned that Ishizu and Merrick are siblings.
Yes.
And apparently working against each other. And you brought up a good point. That their family is, guarding all of the Pharaoh's stuff and whatnot. But the cards should have only been made recently. But they make it sound like they've also been guarding the cards for a very long time. Unless Pegasus did make them a very long time ago, but I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense.
As far as I remember, Pegasus is just a normal human. He has, or he had the Millennium Eye, but other than that, he wasn't like, in this long lineage of keepers or whatever.
Yeah. His predecessors didn't have the Millennium Eye. That's something he got. After the defeat of the Northern Army, the Resistance quickly increased its influence in the North. It soon had control over all of the North and was steadily making its way to the strategic Enno Fortress. To avoid mixing with the Northern Resistance, Kaiba returns to his base in the east to attack Nonbur Castle. So, is it saying to avoid mixing with Yugi's group?
Maybe?
The Emperor leads his troops into battle at Nonbur. Kaiba finds that he may be old, but the Emperor is no pushover. Or is he?
I was about to say, I thought he was a pushover.
Yeah, in Yugi's story. Unless it was because he, thwarted Kaiba somehow? I don't imagine him actually succeeding at that, though. Alright, so maybe I could do that rearrangement real quick that I was talking about. You, moisture creature, you do not have enough moves. Get out of here. And then big stone dudes. You have 5 moves. And you're already the right color. So maybe I'll keep them there for now, but at the very least, moisture creature needs to go over here. And does Rex Raptor have a lot of health that he gives, or no? That was you, I think. Oh no, it is you. You give even more, and Water Girl does not have a lot of HP. So that seems like a good trade.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now let me just find them again. Moisture creature there, and then Water Girl here. And then let me just take a look at those creatures we just got. We got the giant red sea snake. It's swimming. They'll probably all be swimming unless something is weird.
Oh, there's Sea King Dragon.
Yeah, Spike Seadra and Sea King Dragon, yeah. I imagine you don't have that ability yet. No, you do not. The regen. Interesting. I did realize I don't think I actually have an aquatic group, which might be important if I ever run into a base that has both cannon types.
By the way, so if you go to Rex Raptor now...
Yes?
And how much... No, it still says Water Girl only has like 1,000 HP.
It will probably increase once their compatibility colors start to match. So it's...
Is that how it works?
I believe so. Everything that's on this screen for the Marshal, I do not think it applies until they match, at least to some degree. So...
No, that would make sense.
Also, the Moisture Creature is not going to get a ton of moves yet, but hopefully in the future when he's the same color. Hopefully he will.
Got it.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
So hopefully after I farm, they'll be a lot closer and maybe we'll already see those benefits, but maybe not. Alright, give me 1 second here. Alright, I think I am ready. So let's go.
Wait, I'm not ready.
Too bad.
No.
You're getting left behind. Kaiba, I thought you had run off for good, and here I find you attacking me. You shameless traitor. I'm going to make sure the Empire... No, wait. I'm going to make sure the entire Empire knows you for the traitor you are. This from the man who sentenced me to death on trumped-up charges? Go ahead. Either way, I'll achieve my goals when I put an end to your rule. I want you out of my way, once and for all. Let's put an end to this now. I may be old, but I can still silence an insolent squirt like you. Come on, let's see what you've got.
cut to the Emperor lying in the Family Guy death pose.
I don't know if... Oh yeah, maybe I'm thinking of something else. There's like a specific pose from... I want to say it's like Dragon Ball something.
Oh.
Of like someone in the crater.
Someone in the crater, yeah. That works too.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like, was that the same thing? Did one inspire the other? I don't know. They're probably separate things. I don't know my memes that well.
You don't have your degree in memology yet?
Sadly, no. Alright,
oh boy.
Enemy forces incoming already.
So are 90% of the enemy marshals dragon-based this time?
I would assume not.
Because I remember they were in Yugi's story on this map.
That's a lot of bugs.
Weevil, you did account for all of your subordinate marshals when we got you, right? Because I think I might have missed one or two.
I may have offered some assistance to the Empire's army. Sorry, I forgot to recall them.
Gosh dang it. Well, now they're going to be turned into XP for us.
Oh well. Sucks to be them, I suppose. Alright, Garuzi's is still a bit low level, so he only has 2 moves, but I assume he'll get better. He's level 22.
Don't worry, I think Blackluster Soldier and Zonky make up for it.
Yeah, by being level frickin' 59. Still not over that hump to 60, though. Yeah, I did actually look at the numbers for a few of them. It seems like for the first 4 or 5 levels, they require 50 XP. Then for like the next 4 or 5 levels, they take 60 XP. But then at some point, it starts going up by 10 XP per level that they need. But I know I mentioned last session at some point that Mecha Master said it is very hard for them to get to 60, so that must be like a huge amount. Just like a frickin' spike. But I've made it there before with a few monsters. We can do it again. Dang it, why are you frickin' still alive?
That does remind me, though. I think in the first Pokemon game that I really played, which was Diamond, I only got one Pokemon ever to like level 100. And like another to like level 80. And most of my others were like left at like 50 or almost maybe 60-ish. And the one that I got to 100 is only because it was my starter one. And I was like, I have an emotional attachment to this fella. So I'm going to keep him at all times.
Been here from the beginning. This one's special. Yeah, I do feel weird about this because the way I think about the Pokemon games, I've played a bit of one. So there was one of the old ones that I think I played a bit of, but I was so young I got stuck very quickly on something I didn't know how to do. It was like I couldn't figure out any way forward. I may have needed to get like the cut ability or something, and I didn't even know where to get it. Then later on I played a bit of a different one. It might have been like Fire Red, so I don't know if that was like a kind of like a reboot of the originals. I think it was GBA. I didn't finish it. I didn't necessarily get stuck. I just at some point put it down, I think, and didn't go back to it. But the way I always think about Pokemon games is they feel too grindy, despite the fact that I am completely willing to farm up in games like this and in Castlevania. I don't know.
Has to be a very specific flavor of grinding, perhaps?
Maybe. Like, I guess in Pokemon, it feels more like you're just grinding for the sake of it, whereas, like, in Castlevania, you get, like, item drops or something if you're farming specific monsters. And, like, if you switch out a Pokemon, then anything you farmed up on that is kind of worthless. Though that does kind of apply to this as well. So I don't know why that's a thing in my mind, because...
Well, you have also been getting told by people who have played this game which monsters are better late game than others.
Yeah, which ones are worthwhile. True.
So it's not like, you're getting one to level 50 and then you're like, oh, this actually isn't really worth it.
I mean, that may have kind of happened with some of the monsters that I just got rid of, but that's fine.
Yeah. Especially since, at this point, if we really do get stuck somehow, we could just get monsters from Yugi's story.
Yeah. Just knock on that interdimensional door. Be like, Yugi, as much as I hate to admit it, I need your help. Yeah, sure thing. Take all of my monsters that are really overpowered. I mean, I've already done a few of those.
Brings out the Dark Magicians.
Yeah. And what was it? The Dark Burning Magic or whatever?
Yes.
But rainbow lasers are nice too. Oh, was he guarding?
I hope he was guarding. if that was the damage without guarding, that was pretty bad.
Ultimate Rainbow Laser Beam! Blam. What the heck? Yeah, because another aspect I was thinking about when it comes to Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, maybe if I thought I was more familiar with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters, would that, familiarity push me to want to farm it? But no, I'm plenty familiar with the early Pokemon because I watched the original anime dub. And even the Gen 2 one. So, I mean, I do have that connection to it. For some reason, I just don't feel like I can get into the games, but maybe I should try at one point. The thing is that would probably take a very long time to do a playthrough, so not at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough. I will say this playthrough is taking a bit more time than I expected. Kind of thought this would be over quicker. But no, it's got a decent amount of missions to it per story, it seems.
Yeah, I think Yugi's story was around 21 missions. And I think it took us around 33 recording episodes. I forget exactly, but yeah. I'm not tired of it or anything. I still want to push through, despite how long it's been.
Alright, that's good.
I just know in Fire Emblem, eventually I was getting to the point where, like, I didn't want to have to keep editing it. It's like, sure, I want to play through it, but I don't want to sit there and go through the editing process.
Yeah, no, that makes sense with how long that series went.
Sometimes when you took a long time to think of what move to make, that kind of contributed, but I mean, that was kind of necessary in order to not fail.
I'm sorry for trying to strategize in a strategy game.
Huh. All right.
So is there anything in the middle of the lake this time?
I do not believe so. Sadly, it doesn't sound like there's secrets.
Up.
Oh.
Me
Cannons.
thinks there's a cannon there.
What kind of cannon? It better not be both. Anti-air, and you're ground. Also, I just realized it is plenty past time to end the episode, so I think we should end it here and leave this for next time.
So, dear viewers, goodbye for now.
And goodbye.